And in this week's Coach's Corner, we'd like to welcome Bill Branthwaite to the show. Welcome, Bill.
Welcome. Thank you, Sam.
I'd just like to read you an email from one of our viewers, from Stuart Denovan. And Stuart writes, I just can't seem to get my handicap down from 19. It's been on that for 17 months. I can't stop my ball from fading. Very late in the ball flight, on every shot it gets me into a lot of trouble. Now, Bill, I think something like 90% of golfers slice the ball. A lot of them don't understand why, and they don't understand how to fix it. Can you run us through the common causes and the fixes, please?
Okay, thank you. Sam, probably there's two big things here. Firstly, that we want people to make centre contact with the ball. Okay. If the person strikes the centre of the driver and the ball is fading, then it's because the face is open, and that can often be caused by a faulty grip in the beginning. Okay. Sometimes, though, poor contact with the new player is often caused because they strike the off-centre part of the golf club, and by simply holding a club up and tapping the face,
it goes straight
you
back
can see that it's straight if I hit the middle, but if I hit the edge it's twisting, and that'll cause a lot of shots to slew off to the right in some golfers.
So if Stuart, for instance, came to you for a lesson, that's the first thing you look for, is that centre contact?
You bet. We want to see that he's hitting the centre of the face, okay. Otherwise we're off on the wrong tangent.
And you can get, that's just, you can use masking tape, or you can buy that special tape?
You can. This is a special tape that we use that shows the impact when you hit a ball. It clearly shows where the ball hit that face, okay. And that's terrific in helping you determine how close to the centre you're coming.
Right. Okay, so someone tests themselves out and they're getting centre contact, but they're still slicing the ball. What's the next thing as a teacher that you would focus on? Okay,
first thing we have a look at then is the grip, particularly in the left hand. Now, if the person's a right-handed player, they're putting the top hand, left hand on first, and if they've come from perhaps a cricketing background, they may tend to grip too much in the palm, yep. Which leaves the thumb too much down the centre of the grip. Yes. Another cause of that can be, innocently enough, the graphics on the modern grips. Yeah. They've often got lines and patterns. People follow that.
Logo right
they do.
They do. I've got to follow it with my
and people do. And that's often a misnomer. The way to correctly form your left hand on the club is to allow the thumb to sit down the right-hand side of the handle at around about 1:30, 2 o'clock. Okay. You will see when you've done that a V very clearly of the left hand, and you'll see 1, 2, 3 knuckles of your left hand. And of course, if you do it right and you're pointing the golf club straight at the centre of your body, which you should be doing, not here, yep. Then what you'll also see is there's a bone down the side of the thumb, and there's another one just to the right. There's a little pit there, okay. And by putting my finger in that and watching where the grip hinges, I can see if my grip is hinging properly.
Well, that's very mobile and setting that wrist well.
It needs to be, because a lot of people who have trouble with direction on their shots are gripping very much here. You can see that that poorly positioned hand, even as flexible as that wrist is, I still can't
couldn't get it up anywhere near as high.
No, I'll end up making other funny movements to get it to the top.
The right hand?
Left hand. Okay, right hand's a lot easier once you've got the left hand there. I'm really sitting the pad of the right hand on top of my thumb. Again, being careful not to get too much down into the palm, but keeping in the fingers. The feeling in the index finger of the right hand is very much I'm holding it in that top section, like a trigger finger, if you like.
Just pop that down the ground and show our viewers that perfectly formed grip there. So when you look into a mirror at home, that's exactly what you should be seeing.
That's what you want to be seeing.
Bill.
And it should point directly at you.
Yeah, your hands really look moulded to the club. Okay, I've got centre contact. I've learned a good grip. You've improved that for us. I'm still losing my shots off to the right. What's the next thing you'd focus on looking at?
Could likely be my path of the club, the path that the club is taking. If I've been a person who's sliced the ball for some time and I've had a problem with the grip, I've probably tried to correct it by reorientating the path. Okay. You see this most commonly where people are coming in very much outside the line, very steeply into the ball, and trying to literally pull the ball around. Yep. The correct path is actually from the top of my backswing is a path directly to the ball, which if I was to throw a ball, will go directly out there.
I know you do a great drill in your teaching that shows people that, illustrates
if I'm at the top of my backswing with the bent right elbow, and I was to aim that towards the ball in a blow, you'll see it almost goes directly toward you. So it certainly doesn't go towards the green.
A lot of people get very fixated on the target, don't they? And anxiety causes them to work.
Sure, particularly if there's penalties down there. Yeah. I'm desperate to go there. It's very hard for me to accept the blow is not there.
So people can do that drill to feel that.
It's a very good drill, particularly if you don't allow the body to peel into it too
You often
early.
see that with slices, don't you? The heaving look, and it's the lack of timing.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, we've got centre contact, we've got a better grip, we understand the path our golf club should take back to the ball. If I'm still losing them to the right, what should I be focusing on? And I know I'll bring in the impact bag, so I know you use this in your teaching as well.
Sure.
There's a 5-iron. What should they focus on at this point?
Okay, this is a terrific aid for helping a person to square the club face. Again, I hark back to cricket. A lot of people slicing might have come from a cricket background. To them, straight is this. Yep. We know that in a golf swing, when the club is released down, the angles are released, there is a rotation of the forearms over.
Yep.
If I turn around and show it to you this way, if you watch it coming down, 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 fully unloaded into impact, but soon after that there's a rotation. You see the forearms rotating as the toe takes me through. The impact bag is terrific for doing this. A person who's been a serial offender and might have had this problem for a long time is going to have a lot of trouble releasing the club. They're still going to hang on to it through impact.
Yep.
So what we teach that person to do is the same feeling of my throwing, but I quite literally throw the toe down so that I'm trying to hit the bag with the toe first.
Terrific.
It's unlikely I'll achieve it, but it's a great way of improving that rotation.
Okay, so we've got the centre contact, we've got the grip, the path, and we've got a great drill with the impact bag. I think you would have cured about 90% of all the slices out there. Thanks very much for coming on the show, Bill.
Pleasure, Sam.
And indeed, if you'd like to have a lesson with Bill yourself, he can be contacted at the Commonwealth Golf Club, and he will get rid of your slice as well.